let's start. So what we thought is to actually do a series of webinars on this topic, reset thinking, when we realized that lots of people are finding it difficult to cope and also wondering, okay, how do they move forward when everything seems to have changed, when like, yeah, the world has changed and we are like stuck at home now for more than a month. How do we actually move forward? It seems that business is down, we can't even go to work. What's happening? And I was actually in this same trap because as some of you know, the work that we do is in training and development, helping people make behavioral changes. And as we also know, one of the first things that organizations stop as soon as they get into a crisis is training. Yeah. And so we were thinking, okay, what's going to happen now? How do we move forward? How do we also pay salaries? What do we do? And as soon as I continue to think that way, it was just getting worse. Till at one point I actually realized, okay, why am I doing this? Right? I need to actually reset my thinking and start looking at the situation in a different way. And as soon as I actually started doing that, we started finding solutions. We started seeing opportunity in the midst of all this. Yeah. So basically, when everything seems to be going wrong around us, how do we stay positive? I think that is really the key, isn't it? Yeah. I'm sure we are all on multiple WhatsApp groups. If you think about all the news that is going on these WhatsApp groups these days, most of it is negative. Most of it is, yeah, something bad is happening, something worse has happened. Now what's going to happen? That type of things, right? The people we talk to are all sharing their worries. So in the midst of all this, how do we actually stay positive? I think that's the biggest challenge that we all have. How do we remain upbeat? Yeah, we are worried. Will one of our family catch this coronavirus? If that happens, what's going to happen next? Yeah, can the hospitals cope? And so many thoughts that come into our mind. Yeah. So I just want you to imagine now that you're in this place. And when you look up, imagine this is what you see, right? What is on the screen is what you see. Yeah. And imagine that when you look up, that is what you see. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to switch off the slide for a moment so I can interact with you and we can see each other's faces. Okay. So imagine that's what you see. Where do you think you are? You can maybe switch on your mics. Yeah. You remember what you saw on the slide, right? If that's what you see, where do you think you are right now?
At the bottom.
Cave.
In a hole.
In a cave, in a hole, at the bottom of what? Somebody said at the bottom.
The bottom of the hole or cave, whatever it is.
At the bottom of the hole or cave or whatever it is. Yeah, yeah. So imagine if you're at the bottom of a hole, right? Now we have fallen into this hole, yeah, due to no fault of our own, right? We didn't do anything, no, right? And now we are in this hole, yeah. So let's imagine somebody pushed us in, right? Okay, yeah. Now if somebody also gave you a shovel, threw the shovel also into the hole, right? Now imagine, what are most of us doing? Now we are in the hole, we have a shovel in our hands, and what are most of us doing? What are most of us doing? Not all. What are most of us doing?
Digging further.
We are still digging, isn't it? We are still digging. And the more we dig, what happens to us?
More deep you get in.
That's right, Gandhi. So we go deeper and deeper, continuing to complain, by the way, that we are in the hole.
Yes.
We are continuing to complain, continuing to maybe even cry that we are in a hole. But we are continuing to dig. So we are going deeper and deeper into this hole. Yeah. So if we are in a hole, what is the first thing we need to do, ladies and gentlemen?
We have to come out from that hole.
No, before we can think of coming out, what is the first thing we need to do?
You have to think of a way out. Have a plan.
Before we do that, Pashin, before we do that, what is the first thing we need to do? Stop digging.
Said that,
Stop
yeah.
digging. Stop
Calm
digging.
ourselves.
First
See
thing
if
is
there's any light.
stop digging. Why we are still
survival in that hole for the next few days.
Yeah, so forget about being positive for the moment, right? First of all, if we are in a sorry.
First, be calm.
Yeah. Yes. Be calm and stop the digging, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
If we continue to dig, we are just going to go deeper and deeper into this hole.
Yes.
So first thing is, at least let's stop digging. So we'll be at one level now, right? Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So what does this mean in terms of optimism? Let's try to at least not be negative. If we can't be positive, at least let's not be negative. Then we won't go deeper into the hole. And after that, let's do some of the other things that you guys suggested, which is let's figure out a way to come out. Let's figure out how do we actually come out. And for sure, we can come out. See, our mind is a remarkable thing. Our mind is a remarkable thing. Yeah. The more you tell yourself, look, I have a problem and I don't think I can find a solution. Yeah. Your mind is going to give you so many reasons why you can't find a solution. I'll let that sink in. Yeah. Our mind will just give us so many reasons why we can't find a solution. But if you just tell yourself, look, I have a problem, but I'm sure there is a solution, and I'm confident I will find the solution, I know it's out there. What happens? Like just by magic, your mind starts to now find options and solutions and opportunity. Yeah. It's basically what we put our awareness on becomes our reality. What we put our awareness on becomes our reality. Yeah. So if I'm putting my awareness on problems and problems and more problems, guess what you will find? More problems. So that's what we're looking for. Now this might sound very simplistic. Yeah. But I think it's true. And it doesn't have to be so-called rocket science or complicated for something to make sense and for something to be really powerful. The most simple things are sometimes extremely powerful. Yeah. So anyway, we come back to that. Yeah. So the first thing we do if we are in this hole is we need to stop digging. Yeah. Then we can start to come out from the hole. Yeah. So this is not the first time that we have been in a hole of this nature, right? When I say we, humanity, right? In the last century, we actually went through 2 world wars. Yeah. At least today, people are not fighting. And the whole world is in the same situation. So we are all actually as one human race trying to find a solution, yeah, to rescue the whole human race. So at least it's a one point of history when it seems the world is working together because we're all in the same boat. Yeah, but we went through 2 world wars as humanity. I know not as us, we are too young for that, but yeah, we went through 2 world wars. In the early 1900s, there was also this thing called the Great Depression. Yeah, where the US went through this major problem and so many thousands of people lost their jobs and thousands of people actually committed suicide from sheer desperation. Yeah. So 2 world wars. And the end of the World War, Second World War, the catalyst for that was the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the 2 atom bombs. Yeah. And this was the utter devastation in those countries after that. Germany and Japan, of course, most of the world, but particularly Germany and Japan at that time. Yeah, so we all know this. I'm just taking a quick walk through history, right? So Japan, and I'm happy there's one Japanese lady in the audience with us. Japan had this dream of somehow increasing their GDP to overtake that of UK and USA. And from what I read, they started doing this in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s. And as you can see, there was a very steady climb. This red line is Japan's GDP, very steady climb. I know we have some economists also in the audience, yeah. And then Second World War happened. You can see the huge dip, right? So UK is the blue, USA is the green. There was a dip there as well, but not as much as Japan. And no one thought that Japan is going to be able to recover from this. But they did. And they recovered pretty fast. Can you see the climb? The incline? How steep this is? Yeah? And they got to a position and they actually overtook UK as well in terms of GDP and became one of the most industrialized nations without having raw materials there. Yeah, they're one of the biggest consumers of steel, having no steel. And it's an amazing story, isn't it? Absolutely amazing story. So not the first time we have been in a hole. Yeah, when everybody said, okay, no way Japan is going to come out of this, they proved everyone wrong. There was a brilliant WhatsApp message, an email being forwarded about something supposedly that Ratan Tata had said. Yeah, I don't know whether some of you saw that. Yeah, it was superb, isn't it? Saying, okay, nobody thought this particular person would be able to do this, but they did. So they're proving everybody wrong. And so we just need to do the same, right? We have so many role models, so much of history to be able to follow. Yeah. Not the first time we have been in a pandemic either. Yeah. So throughout history, we have had these issues from time to time. And exactly 100 years ago, we had something called the Spanish flu. Yeah. And according to what some data says, about 50 million people actually died from this. That's a questionable number, but still, that is what is being said, right? 100 years ago, it ended in 1919, 1920. Yeah. And now we have Corona. So this is the instructions that had been given in the newspaper 100 years ago about the Spanish flu. And if you look at it, you'll see lots of things that we are practicing right at this time. Social distancing, covering your face, trying to avoid sneezing, sneezing into your arm or something instead of right out into the open. So very, very similar things. Yeah. So it's not the first time they are going to face something. We are facing something like this. Now we have Corona. And when I showed this picture at one of the earlier webinars I did, one of the comments from one of the participants was, wow, that virus looks really pretty. And I think it's true, yeah? But it's also deadly, isn't it? Yeah, pretty things can also be deadly. So now we have Corona. In order to come out of this, there is one magic word that I believe we all need to adopt, be very aware of, and make a part of our lives. It's one word. I'm going to get to start in thinking what this word is. Just one word. The start has to be this word. Yeah, everything else will happen after this. And this is the word that these 5 individuals, I'm sure you recognize them, actually made a part of their lives and really believed it. Yeah, they structured or they built their whole life on this word. Yeah, Mahatma Gandhi, yeah, was instrumental in getting independence for India, but through non-violence. He could have done it violently, but he didn't, right? Abraham Lincoln, the story says he lost his wife, right? He was growing up in poverty. He didn't have any money. Yeah. He struggled right through life. He lost and finally became one of the most iconic presidents of the United States. That's why we still know the name. Yeah. Oprah Winfrey, they say she was abused as a teenager. She was an unwed mother at the age of 16. Again, poverty, no money. Today, one of the most well-known and most powerful women in the world. Yeah. Richard Branson, his teacher said, look, you're stupid. You can't do anything. You will never succeed in life. Why? Because the guy couldn't even write his name or do simple maths. And that's because he had dyslexia. Today, he's one of the most well-known billionaires in the world. And finally, Nelson Mandela spends 27 years in jail. And when he comes out, he tells everyone around him, look, I want to get together with the people who oppressed me. The people who made my life a living hell. I want to get together with them and build this nation. Yeah, and he did. Right? So these 5 people knew this word really well. And this is the magic word that Germany and Japan also adopted in order for them to come out of the severe destruction, the utter devastation after the Second World War. This was what they looked like after the Second World War, and this is what they look like today. Yeah, the hugely developed countries that they are today. So what was this magic word? And it's actually a magic word, because as soon as we become aware of this, things start to change around us. Yeah, so maybe you can switch your mics on now, or use the chat as well. Tell me what this word is.
Hope.
Before hope. Hope is a fantastic word, but before we can have hope, we need to have this other one. Sorry?
Dream.
Before passion, before dream.
Faith.
Courage.
Sorry?
Courage.
Before courage.
Resilience.
Purpose.
Faith.
Before purpose, before brilliance, before courage.
Resilience.
Before resilience.
Action.
Belief.
Faith.
Before
Attitude.
change. Before
Patience.
attitude.
What about faith?
Faith. Faith as in...
Having faith.
Hang on.
Dream.
So faith... Hang on then. Faith as in F-A-I-T-H faith or F-A-T-E faith?
Faith. Having faith.
Having faith. Before that.
Unity.
Before
Unity.
unity. Before
Be
unity.
positive. Be positive.
Before you can be positive, Abiodun.
Patience.
I think before patience as well.
Believe.
Belief.
Sorry?
Believe.
Belief. I think it's before belief as well. So Darshi says choice on the chat. Is that Darshi is talking to us as well?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Darshi has got it. Darshi has got it. Thank you, Darshi. What made you say this, Darshi?
Choice.
What made you say it?
Choice. You mean.
He should decide. He should have that kind of. We should always choose.
Okay.
To
We
come
should,
out
yes.
of the-
Can you switch your video on Darshi so we see you? Because you're the person who came up with the brilliant word. It's choice. What do the rest of you think?
Yeah, it's up to us to make that choice.
Because the start has to be the choice. Somebody said about faith. Yes, even whether you have faith or not, isn't that also a choice?
That's correct.
Yeah, because we can be very religious but not have any faith.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I believe that everything starts with choice. Even the choice to believe in a certain way, the choice to hope, the choice to persevere, the choice to change our attitude. Right? Now, there are 2 groups of people, I believe, in this world. There is one group who always play victim of circumstances. Even when they are successful, what they say is, yes, I succeeded, but I succeeded because of luck, or I succeeded because my boss is good, or I succeeded because the economy is good right at this moment. If the economy is bad, I won't succeed. Yeah. So what are they saying? They're saying whatever happens to me, it's because of somebody else or something else or some circumstances. It's not actually anything I did. Right? It just happened. Yeah. I'm very successful because I was very lucky. And we know that some of us actually create our own luck, isn't it? Yeah. Somebody passes the exam with flying colors. We say, wow, that guy was so lucky. all the questions that he was asked, he knew the answers to. How lucky is that? But we don't sometimes think that that guy created his own luck. He knew the answers because what? He actually studied. So he created his own luck. And somebody else says, yeah, man, I studied this one part, but that didn't come, no? So we sometimes create our own luck. And there is another group of people who say, look, no matter what happens to me, I know it's because of choices that I made. Yeah. Okay. So I failed here. I lost my job. All right. But I know it's because of something that I did. It was in my control. I made some bad choices. Even if you make a bad choice, that's still fine, right? Why do I say that's still fine? And even making a bad choice still makes that person powerful. What's the reason?
Is you have realized that it was a mistake. Self-realization was there.
Fantastic, Annie. And therefore
correct it.
You can correct it.
You have the power to correct it.
Yeah.
Because it's you who made the choice. Whereas if you're in a particular place because of someone else, we can't change, isn't it? We can't do anything.
You're in control.
We know we are in control. Yeah. Yeah. And we are, isn't it? So let me tell you a quick story. So I was doing a program for one of our local banks. And we were talking about this magic word choice. And during the break, one young lady came and spoke to me. She would have been in her late 20s, early 30s. And she said, Sanjeev, I don't agree with you because in my life, I didn't have a choice, right? See, I didn't want to be a banker. I was forced into it by my parents. Yeah. Now I've been in the bank for 10 years. I don't enjoy my work. But I'm here, right? I'm also doing banking exams, not because I want to, because my parents are asking me to. Yeah. So I'm really unhappy. I don't like my job. And I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. So what you're saying is completely wrong. And this is what this young lady told me. So I want to just open up the question to all of you. Did she have a choice or did she not?
She did.
She did. Okay.
She didn't see the choice.
All right. What was the choice that she had?
She could have chosen not to follow.
Not to follow
what she wants.
She could have chosen not to follow
her parents.
Her parents.
Pursue what she really wanted to do.
Yeah, for sure. Her choice, the choice she made was to actually listen to her parents and do what her parents were telling her, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm sure there are lots of us here who have made the choice at some point not to do everything that our parents asked us to. And I can see some mischievous smiles now on some of the faces. Yeah. So I'm sure you're remembering various examples and situations that you faced in your life. So she did have a choice. She just didn't realize it. And there are some of us who I believe need the most help, who actually believe that they have no choice. And they make the choice to say that they have no choice. Yeah. They make the choice to say, we have no choice. And that is really, really, really sad. Yeah. Yeah. So we can be wherever we are, but we can always make the choice to start coming out, because that's a choice that we have and no one can take that away from us. Yeah. So let me go back. Yeah. Yes, please.
And there one comment. Okay. Now, especially in a kind of a culture, sometimes going against the parents is a bit of a situation. So even if you, let's say, okay, you do what the parents say, after that, you're in that pit now. You spoke about the pit now. Now, this person who asked that question from you is still shoveling and going deeper and deeper without doing anything about it, because she has to now make up her mind and do it well rather than blaming the parents.
That's right. Absolutely. And sometimes we think, just to build on something Gandhi said, sometimes we think that, look, I have spent 10 years down this path. And for me to now say, look, I made a wrong choice, is something I can't accept. Yeah. So rather than even saying I made the wrong choice, even with a lot of unhappiness, I'm going to continue to go down the same path.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which I don't believe we should do. Right. So Gayani and I worked together at Unilever many years ago. Yeah. So we have known each other for many years. So sometimes we make the wrong choices and we continue going down this path. There are two people I know, I'm sure you know them as well, who actually studied for 6 years, qualified as medical doctors. Now imagine, right? The type of hardship you have to go through to become a medical doctor, sleepless nights, all the hospital rounds, all that. 6 years of study, qualified as a doctor, come out of medical college, and then make the decision, make the choice that they are not going to practice.
I know.
One went into business, and from what I know, he has 3 companies that he started. They are doing extremely well. And another guy went into education. Yeah, and became a very, very well-known educationist. Yeah, but what about the 6 years of study as a medical doctor? They made the choice, okay, I studied, yes, but I don't want to make that my life. We have people changing career today at the age of 60, at the age of 70. What does it matter? At the age of 60 today, if you change career, we still have another 20 years at least of productive years that we can contribute. Maybe more. Maybe more, yeah? So it's never too late to follow a dream as well. Never too late. And this particular junction in our life might be really the catalyst that we need to do something different. Yeah, we could look at it as an opportunity. That's choice again, right? Do we look at something as a problem, or do we choose to look at it as an opportunity? So the magic word for all of us is choice. Right. Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist, the Jewish psychiatrist during the Second World War. I'm sure some of you have heard of him, right? He says he was in 3 concentration camps, and his wife and his daughter were shot in front of his eyes. They were murdered by the guards. And he says at that point, he made the choice to somehow survive the war, to somehow live through it, so that he can tell his story. He said, I wanted people to know my story. I wanted people to know my story. And I made the decision, I'm somehow going to live. And he did. And when he came out finally, he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning, which even today is a global bestseller. Yeah, Man's Search for Meaning. So if you like, you can actually, I think it's also there on YouTube where you can listen to the audio version of it, right? And in that book, he says, look, when my guards used to hit me, when my guards used to like threaten my life, I made the choice to not feel hatred for them, but rather to feel sorry for them. Yeah. And he says, I didn't do it because I was a saint. I did it because I realized that's the only way I can survive. Yeah. Because the more I felt anger, I was going to destroy myself. Yeah. And he says when they gave him food to eat, they would get fish soup apparently. And the fish soup was nothing more than dirty water with 1 fish bone in it. And he would say, I chose to see nutrition in this. I chose to see beauty in this. So you can choose anything you want, right? No one can tell us what to choose. No one can tell us how to think. That is our choice. And that is actually one of the only choices that we really have to start with. Yeah. Okay. So he says everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances and to choose one's own way. Very powerful, isn't it? Yeah. And he says between stimulus and response, there is a space. Now we have been all given a stimulus, common stimulus, which is Corona, right? We're all in lockdown. Stimulus is there. Now we are in this space, right? In that space is our power to choose our response. What are we going to do? What is our response going to be? Yeah. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. In our response lies our growth and our freedom, because that's our response. Yeah. For example, if it rains right now and you go into your balcony or you go into your garden, yeah, you can choose either to get wet or run back into the house. Or you can choose to run into the house, bring an umbrella and come and stand in the rain. Or you can choose to just stand in the rain and just dance in the rain and enjoy yourself. That's also a choice. Yeah. And finally, he says, forces beyond your control can take away everything you possess except one thing. And that is our freedom to choose how we will respond to the situation. Right? So he says, they took everything away from me. I didn't own anything. But they couldn't take away my choice of how to think. And I held on to that. And I think that if you don't take anything else away from this webinar, just take that. And it will make you much more powerful than you are. Yeah, however powerful you are today. And this is something that occurred to me that I remembered when I was down in the hole. And this is what helped me to come out. And as soon as I came out, I started thinking differently. I started seeing opportunity. I started seeing options. I started seeing solutions. And then when I got our team together and I started telling them, look, we are going to come out of this. I know it. I believe it. Guess what? They started having ideas as well. Because what the leader does matters so much. Yeah, if the leader is saying, look, we have a problem, I have no idea how to come out of this, guess what? People are going to follow the same thing. Yeah. So choice is our magic word. And don't ever forget it. Right? Everything we build is based on the choices that we make. Yeah. So, but which way we go, this way, that way, or some other way, is all our choice. And just a quick glimpse into science for a moment, the science of quantum physics. So quantum physics, I'm not going to take you deep into it, but just to leave you with a thought, quantum physics says that all possibilities exist at the same time. All possibilities exist at the same time. I was reading an interesting book called Becoming Supernatural by a guy called Dr. Joe Dispenza, where he says, the Newtonian laws of physics say we have infinite space but finite time. Quantum physics says we have finite space but infinite time. Yeah, just a thought for you, right? I'm not going to explain that, right? But infinite time, which means that every possibility, your past, your present, your future, all exist at the same time. That's what it is in a nutshell. Yeah, past, present, future, and all possibilities exist at the same time. Imagine someone going to do an exam, right? If any of us go to sit for an exam, we can get any mark between 0 and 100. All those possibilities exist. We can get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 90, 91, 92, etc. Right? We can get from 0 to 100. So what quantum physics says is the possibility that we choose, excluding all others, with certainty, becomes our reality. The possibility that we choose, excluding all others, with certainty, that is 100% belief, becomes our reality. Yeah. And for the Christians in the group, you know, the Bible says, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. What does that mean? Belief, 100% belief, no doubt at all. If there's even the slightest doubt, it's not going to work. Now, for example, what does belief mean? I think all of us are sharing a common belief at this moment that the chair you are seated on is not going to break. Am I right? Yeah. You say you never even thought of it, but it's true. You believe that without a shred of doubt. Otherwise, you won't sit comfortably. Now, that is what a rock solid belief means. No doubt at all. And that's what quantum physics says. So, we have different responses that we can choose. The response that we choose is our choice. Yeah, even the choice to look for responses. Even the choice to say, look, I don't really have multiple responses. I have only one. That is also a choice. Even for someone to say, look, I have unlimited possible responses. Wow. If someone can say that, the whole world is open, right? There's so much we can do. Yeah. So my response, my choice. Look at these two babies. Yeah, I'm sure some of you recognized it. This baby has made the choice to cry, even though it doesn't appear that there's a reason for him to cry. He's just crying anyway. And you know, there are people like that around us as well. Even when good things happen, they still make the choice to grumble. They're making the choice to see a problem in every opportunity, something bad in every good thing. Yeah. And this other baby has made the choice to smile, to laugh, or a beautiful smile, even when he's been bitten by a mosquito or an insect. Can you see that? Yeah. The guy is making the choice to laugh anyway. And so can we. Yeah. What do we choose? What do we choose? What do you decide? So it's actually as simple as that. Cut off the T from I can't. So you just make it I can. And when you're always thinking I can, there are so many thousands of possibility and options that we have in front of us, isn't it? So we hear somebody's background about lunch and pizza, very interesting, but can you switch the mic off? Okay, right. So something practical for us to do. Yeah. There are these 5 things which makes us who we are. These 5 aspects of who we are, our way of being, which is our thoughts, which happen in our mind, our emotions, what we feel, right? The language that we use, the words that we use when we speak on others, and more importantly on ourselves. So what are you saying to yourself? What are the words that you are using on yourself? Yeah, that's what language means. Our body, how we walk, how we carry ourselves, right? The confidence that we are portraying, yeah, and the energy that we have, the energy that drives us. Now, the interesting thing is that all these 5 aspects are connected. You change one, and the other 4 will also change. You change one, and the other 4 will automatically change. It's like magic. For example, if we are thinking negatively, we are thinking, okay, this is a bad situation, right? I don't think we are going to come out of it. All our orders have been cancelled. Yeah, I'm in a big hole. I have no idea what to do. And on top of that, I'm scared that somebody in our family can get corona and die. Yeah. And I'm thinking all these things. All right. When I'm thinking that way, what happens to my emotions? I become depressed, isn't it? I become sad. Yeah. I become frustrated. I become annoyed. I become angry. What is the language then that I start using on myself? Things like the situation is hopeless. Everything is going bad. Yeah. So many are dying. Where's the language I use? Somebody here also could get this. What can I do? These are beyond my control. I have no solution. Right? The language I start using. What happens to my body? Yeah. Actually, when we are in stress for long periods of time, our body's immune system breaks down. So we start to get sick anyway. So that's having an impact on our body, on our very cells. And the way we walk, yeah, we start walking slow. We age like 10 years in a few days. Yeah, our shoulders are hunched. We start stooping. We start talking in a softer voice, right? And the energy, no energy, right? Don't even feel like getting out of bed. You see how it works? You change one thing and the other four change. So what can we do practically? The easiest two to control are body and energy. And out of those two, I would still choose energy. Yeah, because you can always choose to energize yourself even if you are in the worst possible place mentally. Yeah. For example, even today in the morning, I have already exercised for 4 kilometers within the house. Yeah. Now, as soon as you do that, what happens? Yeah. You start to think more positively. Why? Your body is awake. You're feeling better about yourself. Yeah. I'm sure all of you have heard of morphine, which people are given for pain. I remember I was given that in hospital last year, right? Morphine. And it's a good feeling. You feel fantastic, right? That's why sometimes you can get addicted as well. But did you know that when you exercise, the body creates its own morphine, which is called endorphins, which makes you feel good. You feel fantastic. And that's why we get hooked on exercise. Yeah. So quick fix, make sure that you're getting plenty of exercise and you're actually energizing yourself. Even a simple thing like just clenching your fist and saying, yes, I'm going to do this. I can come out. Will immediately start changing the way you think. I know this sounds like so simple and sometimes it might sound ridiculous as well. Yeah, but you won't know whether it works till you try. So 5 things, all are connected. You change one, the other 4 change. So just going into thoughts for a moment. See, all our thinking happens here. So this is something I actually picked up many years ago from a book called The Magic of Thinking Big. Super book. I encourage you to read it. Yeah. Where the author talks about the fact that we have a thought factory in our mind, in our head. Yeah. And thoughts are being manufactured every moment of every day. According to a research at UCLA, what they said was we get about 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day in our mind. Yeah. And these thoughts are manufactured by these 2 gentlemen, either Mr. Failure or Mr. Success. Both of them incredibly productive, really hardworking. Yeah. Once you give them some work, you can just go to sleep. They will continue working. But only one of them works at a time. If Mr. Success is working, Mr. Failure is on leave. If Mr. Failure is working, Mr. Success is on leave for that point of time. Yeah. So guess what? Mr. Failure manufactures what type of thoughts? Positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative thoughts, isn't it? And Mr. Success would manufacture
Positive thoughts.
Positive thoughts. Yeah. All right. And this is happening all the time. There are some people who say, look, I find it very difficult to focus. I can't focus. Now that is actually wrong, because we are all focused on something every minute of the day, every second of the day, really. Because we always have something we're thinking about. So we are focused. But sometimes we are not focused on what we want to be focused on. That's different. But we are always focused on something, for sure. If any one of you has tried meditation at some point, you know how difficult it is to try to just focus on one thing, because other thoughts will intrude, right? And if you try to keep your mind blank, you can maybe do it for maybe 1-2 seconds before thought comes in. Yeah. So our mind is incredibly fertile. It's always working. Yeah. And there are thoughts all the time. Yeah. Rohan asked, any tips on making your leaders think more positively? Sorry, Rohan, you can only control how you think. Yeah. How the leaders think, I think, would be their choice, isn't it? Of course, you could influence. We could influence. The more positive we are, people around us would also be positive. Yeah. But be careful, because when we associate with a lot of negative people, there is a chance that, yeah, we become negative as well. It's basically who is more dominant there, isn't it? All right. So let's do a small exercise now. Right? Just think about what is worrying you right now. What is worrying you right now? and maybe you can speak it out to me or type it in the chat. What is worrying you right now? And maybe switch on your videos so that we can see each other as well. Yeah. What is worrying you right now? Just type it in the chat. Or speak to me. You can switch on your mic now. What is worrying you right now? If nothing, you're fantastic, right? Yeah.
For me, it's nothing. I can't think of anything.
Okay, fantastic. So Kumaran, what was your incentive to join this webinar?
Incentive just to check what's going around.
Ah,
What
okay,
people
all right.
think. I want to understand a better perspective of a public crowd.
Okay, what others are thinking. All right. Okay, super. So fantastic. Is
Sanjeev,
any? Yeah.
Sanjeev, I think I'm trying to be positive all the time. I mean, I don't.
Okay.
Really, I try to be negative.
Okay.
But I try my best. But sometimes you have to do things through people around you, right? So I just wanted to get some tips from you how to really energize people. Yes, it's a choice, individual's choice. But how do you really energize people around you? Because you live in an ecosystem. You cannot do things by yourself. Yes, now we are at home and I have a very positive husband, so I don't have a problem at home, Frank. The only thing is when you go out there, you have to work with people, and I'm trying to do many things with my energy around, but sometimes I feel a bit, you know, people are not so energized in this environment. So how do we really spread this energy around us?
Sure. I'll come to that. There are some tips I have a little later in the webinar. I'll come to that, Gayani. Thanks for the question. So some of the worries that people have: when will Corona finish? About business, how am I to deliver on the expected work goals? How to cope up with business for the new couple of months when curfew is lifted? How to cut costs and manage the bad period? Yeah. Now these are okay. So these are thoughts and these are questions as well. Yeah. All right. So can we pick one of these things? Uncertainty. Yeah. Uncertainty. Malinta says uncertainty. Okay. Out of what people have said, and I'm sure there's lots of other people who have things worrying, but they are not saying at the moment. Any other things that you guys want to share? Anything worrying you? Will there be food shortages going on? Yeah, going forward. Unpredictability is the same as uncertainty. Hi, Sujeevan. Unpredictability, uncertainty. Okay, shall we pick on uncertainty?
Yeah.
Because I think everything else is also linked to uncertainty, isn't it? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Shall we pick on uncertainty as one of the worries so that we can all work on it collectively? Yeah. So what we are saying is the worry is uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen. Unpredictability. Yeah. All right. So now if we give this thought to Mr. Success, there is uncertainty. If we give this thought to Mr. Success, what would Mr. Success tell us? Okay, now think and type something in the chat or speak it out. What would Mr. Success tell us? So there are, how many of us? 56 of us here. I'm sure we can have 56 thoughts at least.
When things are uncertain, people might not think in the normal way. So Mr. Success will totally think out of the box and try to see what is it that I can do during this time to come out of it. In the sense, develop a product, do it something differently. Start the factory for everybody else, something like that, you know.
So that is what Mr. Success will tell, Gayani. Fantastic. So Sujeevan, look out for the opportunities. Pradeep, opportunities hidden in an uncertainty situation. Yes. Fantastic. Come on, guys. Come on. I need input from all of you.
So they're also temporary.
Everything is temporary. Yeah. Very good. This too will pass. Yeah, because it will.
Mr. Success will say, go with the flow, not to resist all the changes, but to adapt.
To adapt, that we can adapt as well. All right, good. Come on, all 56 of us can help the others, right? That's the good thing of being in a webinar like this with so many positive people. Yeah. Amis, what are my choices? Can you maybe put it in a different way? Are you saying I have choices? Right? We'll give options to overcome it, Romain. Yes. Adapt to the change. Yes.
Be happy with the slightest possible change available.
Be happy with the slightest possible change available. Yes. Jagat, what else can I learn? Because this is free time. I am wasting time. Yes, fantastic, Jagat. And by the way, for everyone, this is a unique opportunity. Yeah, where you have time on your hands. Right? This is the best opportunity to make actual change. Yes. Come up with novel ideas to create new options. Yes. Mr. Success will look for what things can be done in spite of the uncertainty. Yes. Have a positive approach to the uncertainties. Yes. Be positive about all situations and see opportunities in all obstacles. Fantastic. So we have a lot of good ideas that we can come up with, right? Yeah. Nurani, Mr. Success will say, we figure things out and may look for the options available. Sandra, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, so get going. Thanks, Sandra, and hi as well. I didn't see you before. Move forward, all is well. Think of exploiting the opportunity arising out of uncertainty. Fantastic. So let me just share a few thoughts on this whole thing of uncertainty in the first place. Yeah. Okay, before Corona, what was certain in your lives? What was certain?
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty, exactly. What was certain? Nothing. Are you sure you're going to have this customer forever? No. Right? Are you sure this guy is not going to leave today? No. Are you sure that we are going to come home alive today? No. Yeah. So it's just that uncertainty is now underlined, right? But uncertainty is a part of life, isn't it? Things are always uncertain. Yeah. So there was a quote from Mahatma Gandhi, not in Corona times, long years before, where he says, live each day as if it was your last. Yeah. And picking up something from Jagat, learn as if you were to live forever. So live each day as if it was your last. Fantastic thought. Yeah. There are no regrets. Yeah. And learn as if you were to live forever. So you see, the way we think is absolutely our choice. Yeah. We can choose to think, my gosh, Corona, everything is changing and I can't survive this. I can't get out of it. Or we can choose to think, right, all right, everything is changing, which means there is so much of opportunity. Yeah. Opportunities arise when things change, right? Yeah. Are we looking for opportunity? If you're looking for opportunity, we'll find it. So guys, it's all up to us. It's all up to us. Yeah. Can't pass the buck. Yeah. So we are caught in a storm. And if we are in a storm, we need the captain to be really confident, isn't it? Yeah. The captain of the ship needs to tell the crew, the passengers, don't worry. I am in control. I know what to do. I will lead you to safety. Yeah. Imagine you're the head of a business, a head of an organization, a head of a department, the head of a household. If you as the captain are panicking, what happens to people who are dependent? Yeah. Right? They might actually jump overboard in fear. But if you are telling them, don't worry, yeah, things are difficult. So it's not just looking on the bright side blindly. No, things are difficult. Yes. Let's look at the reality, but let's also find solutions. Let's look for opportunities. Let's look for doing things differently. Yeah. So all up to the captain. And I believe all of you are here are the captains of your ship. And that's one reason that you're here. Yeah. Because people who are not the captains wouldn't even want to be here. Yeah. So congratulations on that. Right. So the answer to Gayani's question, what can we do when everyone is negative around us? Let's start a positivity pandemic, guys. So I challenge you all, right? Let's start a wave of positivity. Let's start everyone thinking differently. How do we do that? It starts with us. So there are 56 of us here. If all of us go and talk to another 10 and influence that 10 with positivity, what happens? The 56 becomes 560. Those 10 people go and talk to another 10. Yeah, if my maths is correct now, 5,600. And it just starts spreading. Yeah, so we can start a positivity pandemic. Yeah, yeah, without even while practicing social distancing, we can do this remotely. How? 4 things we can do. First, spread connection. Tell people that you're thinking of them. At least connect with 10 people, 5 people if you can't do 10. Tell them you're thinking of them. Tell them that they mean something to you. Yeah, and the more we connect with people, the happier we actually become. And those people also start to feel happier. Yeah, right? Spread help. Call up people and offer to help them. Why not? Yeah. And if you really need help, ask for it. We never know whether anyone is going to help us if we don't ask for it. Sometimes we would feel, no point asking, no one is going to help. But do we know that if we don't actually ask? Because people can't read our minds. Yeah, we can ask for it and offer help as well, right? And spreading gratitude, thinking of all in the midst of all that is going on, what are the blessings that we have in our life? What are all the good things that we have in our life? How fortunate are we? Right? Again, a choice to look for the blessings. And when we look for the blessings, we actually start to feel better and we feel gratitude. And gratitude is a very, very strong emotion. Yeah? Very, very strong emotion. Right? Spread optimism. And if we can do the first 3, we can also spread optimism because we'll be optimistic. Yeah? Again, get on a WhatsApp group and everybody is saying something negative. Right? What is stopping us from being the positive person there? To say, okay, hang on guys. Yeah, this is also going to end. This is also going to change. Let's look for opportunities in the midst of all this. We can do that. That's a choice that we have as well. So answer to Gayani's question, this is one thing that we can do. We can't force people, but when we are positive and upbeat, just following a process. So this is just a process. What I'm sharing with you, just a process. Don't think too much. Just do the process and let the rest just happen. Yeah. And that's the magic with the process. If the process is good, you just do the process and we get the result that we want. Okay. I asked you to get a sheet of paper at the beginning and let's do this gratefulness exercise together now. Yeah. Let's do this gratefulness exercise together. And this is something you can do each day in the morning, just taking 5 minutes. And when you do it, you'll find that, wow, you start the day feeling really great and upbeat. Yeah. And then when your day is great and upbeat, everyone around you also starts having a great day. Yeah. Everyone around will also start having a great day. So let's do this together. The first thing is, think of a friend that you have. Just write down the name of this friend. Just write down the name of the friend that you have. Think of a friend. Yeah? Think of a friend. Write down the name of your friend. And then write down why you're grateful that you have this friend in your life. Yeah? Starts us feeling a bit happier, isn't it? What you can also do is, as soon as you finish this Zoom call, excuse me, send a message to this friend saying, hey, I was thinking about you, right? I'm so happy that you're my friend. I hope you have an awesome day. Yeah. And there are a couple of people in this group I know who do this. And sometimes I'm lucky enough to get a nice message as well. Yeah. And you know who you are. Yeah. So that's a great start, right? Yeah. And if you can, maybe call the person up. That when I have sent this to a couple of people, at some point, one guy wrote to me and said, what's wrong? Are you sick? Why are you?
That happens.
That can happen as well, right? Okay, the second thing that you can do, GTTHY, good thing that happened yesterday. GTTHY stands for good thing that happened yesterday. Just think of your day that you had yesterday and write down at least one thing that you're grateful about. Wow, the vegetable lorry came round.
Bingo.
Somebody brought ice cream. You can see the little things that we are grateful for now, right? Yeah. Okay. We spent some quality time. So yesterday, actually, after a long time, we were able to get together as a family and have lunch together. Great. Good. Something I'm grateful for. Yeah. Okay. Something good that happened yesterday. All right. Then OT is opportunity that you have today. So you're all in the midst of one opportunity. I hope you look at it as an opportunity to be grateful. But there could be other opportunities that you're looking forward to in the day as well. An opportunity that you have today. Yeah? Write down something. The fourth is something simple. Something simple. Yeah? That doesn't cost money. Yeah? So while I'm seated in this chair, and when I look up, I see my garden. And I can see that there are some flowers in the garden, things that I planted. And that makes me happy. Something simple. Yeah? Yeah? Something simple. I don't know whether you're lucky enough to have peacocks in your garden these days. I heard that there were peacocks sighted at Ratmalana and at Colombo 5. Yeah? So when the humans are caged up, the animals come out, isn't it? Which is also maybe a good thing. Yeah? Something simple. And finally, actually an opportunity to show gratitude to someone who has helped you. Yeah? A previous boss, someone who helped you in your career. Yeah? Maybe send a WhatsApp message, maybe send an email, or maybe call up and say, look, I just wanted to say thank you. Right? And the last time I did this exercise in an organization, one of the gentlemen whom I met after that came and told me, look, I did that. I called up one of my friends whom I had not spoken to in like 5 years, because that's the friend that I remembered. And I'm so happy that I called him and spoke to him and told him how much he meant to me. Because 1 week after I spoke to him, he went into a coma. Yeah. And it's unlikely that he is going to recover. Yeah. So this exercise could be something really nice, yeah, that you do to brighten up someone's day as well. So that's in the morning. And before going to bed, just think of 3 things that went well in the day. And that means you get a good night's rest. That means you get a good night's rest. Instead of thinking of everything that went wrong, think of 3 things that went well. Yeah. And wow, you go to bed feeling happy. And I promise you, if you make this a daily routine, you're going to feel so much more happier. Because just being grateful, or just even looking for something to be grateful about, changes the way that we think. All right. So now it has come to that time of the webinar where we all are going to make this choice together to reset our thinking. Yeah. That from this moment on, we are going to look at things differently. We are going to look at everything from a positive perspective. We are going to make that choice. So can I ask you, please switch on your videos. Switch on your videos, everyone. It doesn't really matter whether you are combed your hair or not. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Switch on your videos. Yeah. And let's give ourselves a thumbs up. Let's give yourselves a thumbs up. Yeah. And if you want to just switch on to that gallery view where you see all the faces, it's really an awesome sight to see everyone with their videos on, and big smiling faces as well, right? Big smiling faces as well. All right. So we still have a few with the videos of Indrajit, Nurani, Shiana, Raushan, Dinara, can we have your guys as well? Yeah. One time we all get to see each other. Yeah. Sandra, Pradeep, Udara, Shadini. Okay, so awesome. So let's have a quick, yeah. All right, guys, we are making the choice now, right? We are looking at things differently. Can we see your thumb, or even two thumbs? Bhagya, right? Superb. Keep that there, right? Okay, so let's make this choice. Let's make this choice to change together. Awesome, fantastic. Yeah, and the smile would also help. Yeah. Okay, so just 5 minutes more of your time. 5 minutes more of your time. Some practical ways to stay positive. First is, when you become aware of what you're thinking, you're not going to be aware of what you're thinking the whole day, but when you do, and you will, because now you know that you can. When you become aware of what you're thinking, just choose whether this is actually what you want to be thinking about, because we can make that choice. And if we are thinking, okay, but thoughts are so intangible, how do I really have this? How do I change even the way that I think? Well, you can actually use what I call a thought replacement tool or thought replacement device, which is your smartphone. Yeah. Whenever you start thinking negatively, you can listen to some great music, watch some uplifting videos, look at some pictures of major successes in your life, pictures of your family, and you will find that your thoughts actually change. Yeah. That's something we can do. It's practical. So use your TRT, thought replacement tool. Yeah. Connect with at least 5 people. Tell them that you care. Offer to help at least 5 people. There's something practical that we can do. Yeah. Doing the gratitude exercise each day in the morning will change the way that we think. Yeah. If you're on social media groups, yeah, make it a point to say something good. Right? How many are actually talking about how many have been healed of corona? Most people talk of how many more have got it, right? Yeah. What about how many have got healed? That's something good to say. Yeah. Maybe if we don't have something good to say, we don't say anything at all. Then that will not add to the negativity. So listening to music, having fun, laughing, hugging your family, just do that right after the call today. Just go up to your family members, give them a big hug. Yeah, that's okay. So what do we call it on Facebook these days? The hugging challenge. Let's take the hugging challenge. Yeah, join a positive group. I'm fortunate to belong to a group, Pandula and I, called BNI, Business Network International, and Indrajit as well. And it's great when we join a meeting there because everyone is upbeat, everyone is positive. Yeah. Like Jagat said, good time to learn something new. So much of resources around, right? Maybe do something you never had the time to. Start painting again. Learn a musical instrument. Learn to sing. If anyone likes to learn to sing, you can get in touch. We can help. Yeah. Exercise, meditation. These are things that we could actually start or maybe continue if we have been doing it. Yoga, good things. And what should we stop or reduce? Just blindly sharing stuff that we get. Yeah. So a policy I try to follow is I will share only if it makes me feel good. If not, no, I won't share. Keeping and passing on the score. Yeah, it's not like a cricket match. Yeah. Keeping and passing on the score of how many corona patients we have around doesn't help anyone. Yeah. We can't choose our family, but we can choose our friends. So be careful whom you associate with. Yeah. Because if everyone is negative around you, the chances are we are going to go deeper into the hole. And even watching news. Yeah. There are good things happening as well, but those are not really newsworthy. So it doesn't come on news. And most important, complaining and feeling sorry for ourselves. Yeah. So these are some practical things we can do. And remember that optimism is the happiness magnet. the more we are optimistic and we are positive, right? Good people and positive things and good things will actually get drawn to us. Yeah. All right. So happy to take any questions that you have. Happy to take any questions that you have. Yeah, I'll try to answer, or maybe we can help each other to answer as well. Well, that's all as far as the webinar is concerned. Yeah, I hope you benefited and it helped you. Thank you again, everyone, for actually joining us and spending this time with us. It's really great.
Really appreciate this presentation. It's
Thank you.
I learn a lot. I learn a lot. It has
Thank you.
changed my
Fantastic.
view in a lot of areas.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
I'm likely I'm also going to discuss it with all the executive management of companies.
Fantastic. And you can tell them to join as well, because we'll be doing this again. So any one of your friends who likes to join, feel free. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll
All
definitely
the
do
best. All the best of you. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Take care,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. If you have questions, even after the webinar, you can get in touch on WhatsApp or on email, and I'll be happy to try to help. So, if you have no questions, thanks everyone. Lovely seeing you all. All the best. Yeah. Stay safe.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
stay
very much.
positive.
Thank you,
We
Sanjeev
can-
and Anusha.
Thanks.
It was
we can
awesome.
make the change.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sanjeev and Anusha. All the best to you.
Thanks, Mr.
All the
Sanjeev.
best. All the best.
Thanks, Great session. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Stay safe.